everybody, and welcome along to round 4 of the AEC mini-series. We've got just 3 rounds to go then as we enter the second half of the 6-race season. And it is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain, where, well, of course, you all voted for this last week. We'll do the same again following the checkered flag this evening. 18 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 33-lap race to come. And I'm delighted to welcome back once again Ross Greenhorn. How are you doing, my friend?
Yes, welcome back everyone. Glad you can join us for another week of racing in the Artemis Esports Championship. Obviously last week was quite an incredible race ended once again. It was quite a nice feeling to see. PSR Smokey round out his console console life as he moves on to PC. As I'm already going to say, he's already picked up that first PC win, so congratulations Smokey on that CTC Championship social race win. But yeah, no, PSR Smokey rounding out that console outing with that P1 for PSR, Liam Bowman taking P2 for Novice Racing in the end, NRX Quantum and Embracer bidding up a 3-4 for NRX, which did indeed jump them up the standings quite a lot. Standings currently sit as PSR are well in the lead with about a 40-point gap to NRX behind it. First place PSR 123 points, second place NRX at 81 points, third place MVR now with 77 points, TV8 at P4 with 68 points, fifth place FRT after that fall off from round 1 down in P5 with 59 points, Shizou up in P6, EXR P7 32 points, SLR P8 with 14 points, and BRT only 1 point behind SLR with 13 points, and then AERT have moved on, but they were on 5 points, and GSR are yet to score a point. So hopefully they can score some points today, but an exciting race ahead. Spain is one of those tracks where you do always look forward to having some good racing, and with the new layout of F123, it'll be exciting to see how they all do.
Absolutely. Good evening to Harvey, who says he's watching in the car. So we've got to say hi to his parents, of course. Hello, Harvey's parents. I hope you are very well this evening. Make sure you keep your eyes on the road, though, of course. Health and safety restrictions do apply. I don't know. But congratulations to Harv. And anyone else who might have graduated this week. Who else have we got? We've got Cobb, we've got Marth, and we've got Risks all in the chat as well for another evening of the mini-series. And Luca will take us away to start our first flying lap of the evening, rounding turn 3, completing the first sector, then heading into turn 4 at Repsol, really digging the nose into the corner, running out wide on the exit, carry as much speed as possible. Turning in then to turn 5, downhill. Bit of a slide on the exit of the corner as Luca looks to set the benchmark here. And up through the left of 7 and the right of 8 sausage curbs. Greeting you there on the inside. You are punished for running wide as you are at turn 9. Possible to invalidate there, but Luca well within the limits. Now braking on that outside curb at turn 10 as he again puts in a purple sector, being the first car around to start a flying lap, and now up through turn 12, and it will descend again through the flat out right of turn 13. How good is it to say that? And then turns in for turn number 14 to give us our first lap time of the evening. Already quicker than Formula 1 pole, it's TIR Luca with a lap time of an 11.1.
Yeah, tidy lap there from Luca. He kept it in the limits. Got a nice bank lap, and I'm sure he's got a bit more in that lap. You should see the 10 start to show up as you see now. FRA Arch for Team Valor jumping into the 10.8s already. I believe an Alpha Tauri next across the line. There you go, that's PSR Placky just outside of that 10 barrier. Next to an Alfa Romeo setting their first lap. Next an Alpha Tauri. Oh, PSR net looking to get that front row, and he doesn't. It's 11.2 early in the session. Tucks in there behind TIR Luca, and you got the Haas next. Oh, the NRX Cinder is going to cross the line now, and he does jump to the top of the timing sheets with a 10.724 race roller into P4 with that other McLaren invalidating, and then that's EXR Zach ahead of his teammate, and GSR James up there with a 10.7, and NRX Ogween up into P3. The times are all starting to show up now on leaderboard. GSR Sam with an 11 there, top 10 already sorted out with a couple more laps to be coming on very shortly.
Next up, Shizou Ilton then crossing the line, going 6th fastest, slotting in between Placky and Gabor at the moment. The times keep coming in. Next across the line is a Red Bull. That was Passy. He's slowest of everybody to have set a lap so far. FRT Dan next across the line. He's 12th fastest, and it looks like everyone might get a clean lap in here. Elite Risks on his debut for Team Valor, having left SLRT, of course, crosses the line now, goes 15th fastest. It looked like quite a slow final corner, ran a little bit wide of the Apex. Ali Ferrari off the track and taking one of the alternate layouts down at turn 9. He will not get a clean lap in first time round. Rev Caterpillar is the last man to do so. He's going into turn 10 now. Of course, the layout that was introduced in 2021. The turn reinstated in conjunction with the FIA and the FIM for both MotoGP and Formula 1 and all the other categories that race around here. Here comes Rev Caterpillar, crosses the line, goes 18th fastest, and that just about completes our first runs here in Spain.
Yeah, no, surprisingly, GS James, for a team that had not scored a point yet, up there in P2 behind NRX Cinderay, great banker from GSR James for a ground effect spec racing team. Ali Ferrari, I believe, is going round again, so I'm not sure if he's going for another lap or so. I believe it is. He is. That ERS is going down. He is on another flying lap attempt. The ERS may be a little bit low as he comes towards the end of the lap, but he's going to set a lap anyway at 21.7. That's 3/10 down on what we've seen from Tiara Luca on his lap. That was only 11.1, so he's not looking so good so far for Ali Ferrari in that Alpine car. Currently got Elton up there in P7, just ahead of Gabor, and behind PSR Plaque as he comes up the hill, and that is an invalidation for Ali Ferrari. That second attempt no good either. He's going to have to stick back in P20, back to the pits he goes, get himself back together, fresh set of softs on, and go again.
Yeah, absolutely. The rest of the field, however, separated by 7/10 of a second at the moment, rounded off by Sem at the moment for SLR as he partners up with Race Roller, who is in P9. Smeggy was asking about assists. Stokey saying hello. Hello, Stokey. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Of course, the official world record holder around here on Xbox. There are, of course, the few that like to ruin it at the top, but you know, you can only do what the game allows you to. Yep, well done, Crispy. Top of the leaderboard. We get it. You've got the time to be able to mess around with that. But Arch straight out there again. Of course, taking it nice and slowly, building up that brake and tyre temperature as always. Of course, 3 rounds in then, Ross. TV8 started by winning back in Silverstone. They've not done too bad since, but 6 points last time out in Bahrain. They need an upturn in form tonight.
Yeah, definitely. For a team that should be up there fighting for podiums constantly every single week, that is one of their poorer performances of the season. I'm sure we'll see them all start to turn up the heat now for the rest of the season. Also, Stokey still in that win on the line from FRT Risks in Britain. That got them off to an absolute flying start, but then since then, as you said, a bit slow away from Jeddah and Bahrain. But Spain is their time to regroup and go again. Obviously, I believe it is a debut for Elite Risks in that other Mercedes car. Arch currently half a tenth up on his current time. That will put him ahead of NRX Ogwin, but just missing out, going ahead of GSR James as he flies on down the next part of the track, the middle part of Sector 207, the longest sector on the track. This whole middle part, he flies up the hill now, just dropping slowly up the gears. He holds it down flat on that throttle. Round they go through that right hander, keeping it nice and tight to that inside curve. People like to run a little bit wide there and I can touch the gravel and spin the car right into the wall, so trying to dodge that at all costs. There's a lovely little slide there out of the corners. He flicks it up right uphill again. It's going to come back down the hill to the newly rechanged corner. It was originally the MotoGP track, now being changed to the official F1 track as it flies around the last corner now. FRA Arch, I'm sure he will improve this lap. He doesn't get into the 0.7s, but he does break. That's 8.02. An improvement. Is up into P3.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the, of course, the shortening of the time, the lap time around here, it's actually a little bit harder to find time. Especially with the removal of the chicane as well, often where your lap really depended on that exit, but now it's quite similar going into that final sector. Literally a flat out right, a small lift, maybe a downshift into the final corner, and that just about does it. Nick improves by over 4/10. He's back on the pace and up into P4. At the moment, his teammate Placky don't think he's pushing. Might be on an in lap now as well as the next set of laps start to roll in. There's a Haas coming across the line now. I think that might have been a flying lap started by one of the two NRX drivers. Race Roller now heading into the final corner. There's an Aston Martin and I believe an Alpine in front of him. Race Roller crossing the line again, finding a couple of hundredths, but just not really able to gain too many positions from that. So many lap times coming in. EXR Zach has just started his latest lap. FRT Dan likewise as well. And then I think it's an Alfa Romeo of Drobble who is also starting a flying lap. Again, we've got the glitch where you just don't quite know who's on a flying lap. Rev Caterpillar has just crossed the line, and then it's Ali Ferrari who also is starting a flying lap now as well. So let's turn our attention back to the leaders then. Sindri about a 10th down. The provisional pole sitter at the moment, over halfway through this qualifying session. Of course, just the single 18-minute session for anybody that's not encountered the graphics on this game so far. But Sindri then down into the final corner. The removal of the sausage curb on the outside in a recent patch allows drivers to really open up that corner. Ooh. And he's found time in the final sector. There's a surprise. NRX Sindri extending his advantage on provisional pole by about a 10th of a second. And his teammate Ogween has joined him on the front row. NRX celebrating today the return of Rusty, but they have got two really capable drivers in their cars at the moment. Sindri then from Ogween.
Yeah, great result so far for NRX, Sindri and Ogween. Ogween just outside of that 0.6 marker, but such a good lap there anyway to make it a 1-2 for them. Maybe they can hold that in the end, but there's other drivers on a lap behind. The Alfa Romeo Rev Caterpillar being one of them, currently getting a tow from down by Sem F1. And Rev Caterpillar across the line, it's only P15 for him and 11.1 at best for him. Sem F1 wasn't able to improve on that. Ali Ferrari will get that final lap in now, and that is up to P10 for the other Shizou driver out on just behind as well, who is did not actually improve on his lap time. So you see at the front though, Drawbo up into P3, James still in P4 with that banker lap of a 10.7. Arch nowhere else. FRT Chelsea now into P6. His teammate FRT Dan not having the nicest of times either down there in P19. So overall though, good start for NRX, but still a long time to go in this session. Those final laps will be coming in very, very shortly.
Yeah, shout out as well to Drobble of NVR, who I believe has had a month or so away, based on what I heard, I think the other night. So it's good to see him back and straight on the pace for NVR. Of course, really building up once again at NVR, and of course, I don't want to promote it too heavily, but the start of their own championship this Sunday at 7 o'clock. So that will be one to look forward to. Nathan confirming he was on holiday for a month. I thought I heard it somewhere, and yeah, I was just about right on that one. GSR Sam, is he pushing? He's got very limited ERS available, about 3/10 down on this lap, and I think he might pull in the pit lane here. Maybe just pushing just to keep the momentum going for a team that are, well, disappointed on their maiden no assist round in AEC. Of course, they locked out the back row, I believe, so again, not the start they wanted, but just like that, James in the car, and he is doing some pretty special things.
Absolutely, P4 for James still on that track. Everyone else will be coming on the outlets very shortly. PSR Placky though is getting us going with what will be probably his final flying lap attempt of the session. Actually, I think he might get back in time, I'm not sure on that one though. He picks up, as you can see on his right tyre, there's a little bit of marbles as anyone like to see. This can cause a bit of understeer for the cars that come through this corner. He is half a 10th down, you see he runs a bit wide, he touched the grass there on the outside very, very slightly, but he does keep it nice and close to that apex through the next corner, keeps it going. A lovely slide through the next part of the track. You can see though, the marbles affected that car through that long right-handed corner of coming up the hill. You can see how much it does affect if we do have that one mess up going for that pole lap. Also, PSR Placky there in P9, his teammate only up P7 up ahead, so not the greatest PSR performance we've seen in a while. He is half a 10th up in an optimal middle sector for PSR Placky. That will jump him nowhere currently if he does get that improvement in, but he may have a bit of time in this last corner, all the way flat out through this corner here, and it'll be a very slight lift through the last corner. He keeps it all the way grounded in second gear, he flies all the way through. DRS opens up for PSR Placky, and it is a 10.9 improvement. Not enough to jump elite risks, but it is P9.
Yeah, absolutely, and you mentioned the marbles. I'm pretty sure they build up throughout the course of a race as well. You don't really notice it that much, but that just increases the likelihood of mistakes perhaps going into the final third or so of the race. So it'll be something to watch out for. See, as he pulls offline there, it just builds up. And on a track like Spain as well, I think they've actually simulated it within the game so that the more used tracks, such as Spain, which would typically have Porsche Super Cups, F3, F2, F1 all on a race weekend, of course a lot more marbles on the circuit because of the discarded rubber throughout the weekend. So it's nice to see the feature. It can get annoying, yes, and that does give the drivers as well a tighter window in terms of a racing line for their final runs. And speaking of final runs, a few drivers going out there early, and at Elite Risks, it's purple in the middle sector, flying through turn 13 and shortly through 14 as well. Flat out, not even a lift for Elite Risks, who's gone 5th fastest, beating his teammate by 4 thousandths and matching GSR James to the 1,000th. That is how close it is at the moment. Elite Risks 5th then, but who will have their lap times costed and their positions costed by literally thousandths, as we're seeing now.
Definitely, that was a good start from TV8 though. As we said, that improvement from last week scored barely any points. The improvement is starting to come up as a 5-6. It might be at best though. I don't think they will be able to get back in time to go for it again. I believe Arch will be trying to gain some ERS. He's not. He's back into the pit lane. So that'll be it for FRA Arch. I believe Elite Risks will also be finished on that lap. I don't actually know if anyone is on a lap. Let me see. Ada Ferrari has backed out of his lap. BRT Gabor is just flying through this last sector. Now he's going to be trying to see if he can improve on that 11.088. If he can gain at least a 10th, that can jump him up even into P10 and a PSR Blackie, who's also finished for this session as well. He runs the final corner. That's an invalidation. That's running wide. And that's it for BRT Gabor. P14 at best for the Bungarese team driver. It's Passy, his teammate, is up currently on his time with a 21.3 first sector. The lap times will start coming in now towards the back end of the session. 1 minute 30 left. Who's going to take that pole position?
Well, the provisional pole sitter Sindri has started his final lap and up through turn 3, then flat out. And the marbles on the right front tyre there, you can see, will that put him off into turn 4? No, it hasn't, and he's found 100th in the first sector. Running out wide there, not going too far wide, of course, because that's where you get the grass and the gravel, and a pretty unideal place to be when it comes to pushing for pole position. Into the middle sector then, turn 7 the left-hander, turn 8 the right-hander, maybe left a little bit more on the table there as he continues to push on now through turn 9, the AlphaTauri that is, getting out of the way. No impeding here, and no impeding for the entirety of the final sector. Still about 200ths of a second up. He's found about 100th in each sector so far. Can he find any more in the final sector, where he stunned us last time out, having recovered from a 10th down? Here comes NRX Sindri into the final corner. DRS open then for the short dash to the line, and he's found another 100th. 3 100ths of a second improvement. He's gone quickest, and his teammate Ogween has spun on the exit of turn 4. A big moment if NRX want to secure a front row lockout here. Drobble coming into sector 3 now. Is he up on his time? No! There's impeding from the Aston Martin, who's off into the gravel as a result. Drobble, unfortunately for him, cannot improve on that lap time. James has started his final lap. Both TV8 drivers have retired. Interestingly, Elite Risks has gained another position there. He's down to a 797, which I didn't even notice. So, well, that's new to me. I've not seen that before. PSR Nick flying on through his lap as well. PSR Placky in behind as both PSR drivers pretty much in sync on their final flying laps here. There's a Haas. Is he going to get out of the way? Yes, he has. Bit of lag picked up there. It was Ogween who retired from the session. You don't want to be doing that on track when drivers are still out there completing their final flying laps. PSR Nick will be next, followed by PSR Placky. Can he challenge the front row of the grid, or maybe even get onto pole position? DRS open for the German, and he does go quickest! PSR Nick, what a lap at the dying end of the session. Beats NRX Sindri, who gave absolutely everything.
Yeah, what a lap that was by PSR. Like I was on board with NRS Ogwin during that first sector. That outside wheel, the left-hand side rear wheel touched the grass from the understeer from the marbles, as I was saying, and it caused him to spin the car around. He was a tenth up in that first sector alone. I wonder if he could have really had a really fantastic lap time during that lap, but it was not meant to be. But PSR Nick, I watched him as well. He was 2 tenths up in the first sector. He dropped a little bit of time in the middle, but that last sector was absolutely flying by the young German. He's up in a pole position. Cinder next to him. I'm sure that's still a fantastic result for NRS, but it is much of a heartbreak for Drobble. That impediment on his lap. It was only going to P4 is still a fantastic result, but what could have been for Drobble. Here we go to the final short qualifying classification. And PSR Nick is on pole. NRX Cinder, NRX Ogwin make it a 2-3 for Nexus Racing and for a front and second row. Then you got Drobble in P4, Elite Risks in P5, GSR James, what a performance that is for him for ground effect spec racing, in P6, FRA Arch in P7, Chelsea in P8, TR Luca in P9, PSR Plaque P10, Shoes Elton in P11, Raceholder P12, GSR Sam P13, Ali Ferrari P14, It's Patty P15, FRT Dan P16, BRT Gabor P17, Rev Caterpillar P18, EXR Zach P19, and for a second week in a row, it is an SLR driver at the back of the grid in P20 from Sem F1.
Absolutely, Sem really the outlier there, because the rest of the grid, there was just about half a second in that. An absolutely astonishing qualifying session here in Spain. I've got to let the drivers know when to ready up, because I'm in charge tonight and I should never be trusted. We're already up at 26, I think. I think that's reasonable. Gives the drivers a couple of minutes for the sessions. The setup before we go on and start the race. And it's come over a bit overcast here. And I tell you what, to drop in a fact, there's not been a rain-affected race here in Barcelona since 1996. Will there be any rain? It doesn't look like it based on the driver input, but never rule it out.
Yep, never rule it out indeed. It does look a bit overcast, as you said, a bit the grey clouds came rolling in from qualifying, but we do enjoy a little bit wet, a bit of a hectic strategy call from the teams. It'll be whoever wants to make that strategy. As of right now, practically every single driver is on hard target set. PSR Nick and EXR Zach, they are both the only two drivers on the medium compound tyre. PSR Nick, is he thinking of just maybe going for, you know what, I'm on pole, I don't have to follow the rest, is it time for the alternate strategy anyway, doing the medium to hard, doing whatever he fancies. Maybe he thinks, you know, he can possibly make up positions, try and hold a bit of a lead at the front, and see if he can gap off Sindri and Ogwin at the start to allow Placky to make his way through the field and hopefully try to catch back up to him to give PSR that 1-2 that they had in Jeddah. I'll say last week was a bit of a more disappointment for them in terms of the other driver. I'll say Smokey did take the win, but we're looking to try and get another 1-2 in the AEC mini series, but fair enough. It's going to be one hell of a race, I've got to say. If PSR Nick can hold this lead, it really can be anyone's game. Can Sindri jump him off the line? Well, only time will tell. I believe we'll be starting very, very soon.
I think we will be, considering it's now 26. I've put up a quick chocolate poll. If anybody's interested and hasn't seen it, you've got about 20 seconds to vote for your best chocolate. Well, the thing is, Choco, that people do eat dairy-free chocolate. You know, veganism is a thing, and we should respect those people. But milk chocolate, of course, it's the classic that's out in front. It is going to take victory here in the chocolate poll. Congratulations to Milk Chocolate, who has won the poll. And speaking of poll, you can vote for the track we will race at next week, following the checkered flag here in Catalonia. And is this a formation lap? Yes, it is. I always forget because of how many races I end up doing nowadays. But should we talk about tyres and how all 20 drivers have gone for hards?
Oh, the late change on PSR Nick. He has absolutely fooled me. I thought he was going to do the mediums, but mind, I will let him off for that when he's done. He's done it the normal strategy as kind of expected from everyone. Maybe it's going to rain at the end, near the end. Maybe that's why they all want to go a little bit longer. Also, the hards are usually the favoured race starting tyres, so maybe they will maybe drag this out a little bit more. I believe there's a car off the track there, so it's passing, making a little bit of a route to the gravel there. Getting in nice and early now at the back of the grid. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how everyone gets off the line. Obviously, GSR James looking to see if he can pick up any positions off the start, avoid any carnage up there in P6 for GSR. Sam doing a P13 for them. They're looking for their first points of the no assist mini series. Sindri and Ogween trying to pick up as many points as possible for Nexus Racing, who currently sit P3 in the championship. Nick looking for that win. Drum looking to pick up more points for Novice Racing with Red Caterpillar down in a disappointing P18. So he can make up some positions and make it an interesting fight at the start.
Indeed. Safety car probability here, 50% in the last 8 years of Spanish Grand Prix running. So, yeah, there's always the chance of a little bit of interference and for drivers to very easily switch their strategy over to a two-stop. And Smeggy, that was your fact. That was your fact. 50% safety car probability. I can just drop them in and you don't even realise. Such is the joy of commentating. But we're lining up then. 20 drivers, one unique strategy. Well, one unified strategy. There's nothing unique about it. What am I on about? But 33 laps once again. 58 viewers in the live chat. And you are all watching round 4 of the AEC mini-series. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. Oh, no, that's not good. Sem's been disqualified, as I think all 5 lights are on. They're out, apparently, and we're underway. Nick gets a good start, as I'm getting the worst camera angle standing towards turn 1 for the 600-metre run to the first corner. Sidri down the inside, Max Verstappen-esque in 2021, and he takes the lead here in Catalonia as Nick tries to still fight it around the outside, and he's given the Haas a nudge coming through turn 3. He'll tuck back into the slipstream going into turn 4, but Sindri has the lead. What a launch he got, and what a move he made into the first corner. And the Great Dane Drubble going around the outside at turn 4. Can he get himself onto the podium, into a podium position, I should say, but he can't quite do it. The TV8 drives in 5th and 6th, and it's relatively clean, other than Sem's disqualification.
Yeah, James dropping back 4 positions already from that P6 qualifying position. He's been swallowed up by Placky Chelsea. Look at ours to the back, that's F40 Dan, and also the Ferrari of GSR Sam. That's a virtual safety car, and Stan is out of the race. Sam just at the back of the grid there. That is a horrendous collision. Dan is now out of the session.
Full
Sam
safety car.
Just carries on. Now we have a full safety car. What a hectic start that was. What a start though from NRX Syndrome up the inside like Max Verstappen was in 2021. But he's back up again. There you go. Sindri in lead of the race. Nick in P2. Ogwin in P3. Trouble. Looks like he got P3 in NRX Ogwin, but a bit of a snap through turn 4 led to him losing that position, and it was back in at P4. It a good start from TV8 as he kept it clean. TR Luca making up some great positions off the start as over P7. FRT Chelsea and Placky as well, all making positions. I'm not sure what we are going to do about the Sem incident, to be honest, Joseph. I think that might be a little bit of a controversial one. Let's maybe figure that out.
Yeah. The thing is, I've got to decide.
I believe it might be. I think it might be the right decision, to be honest. I think that is very unfair on Sem, because it wasn't his fault. It's another game glitch for Sem. I know it's one driver, but we need to be fair here and look at what every other team would want. So I think we do call the restart on this one.
Well, I'm just trying to recall, because I've seen this before, and yeah, it's nasty, but you know, in a tournament setting,
I believe the right decision would be to just to get us the front of the safety car now. We can get. I've got quality results here for you. You can can use for that. Let's
well, it'll be Zach that needs them.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'll get to Zach.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be a race restart, so never mind the VSC, never mind the full SC. We are going to a red flag, ladies and gentlemen. Very sorry for the inconvenience, but such is the shit that Codemasters gives us. Excuse the language, but I think it's needed. So please help yourself. Get a cup of tea, glass of water, whatever you might want. For the upcoming restart, it will be EXR Zach hosting for any drivers, and he's done nothing wrong, might I add, Zach, with the hosting. Safety car just needs to be off, because, yeah.
Formation lap, Joseph.
Formation lap, sorry, yeah. But the safety car is annoying, I hate it. I'd like that off as well, but I don't make the rules around here. Formation lap will be off, and we'll just get going again, which means we need things to talk about. So this is where the live chat, you know, that you come in good. You get yourselves involved, but it happens. Yeah.
Unfortunate. Yeah, it's not Zach's fault. We just need to. It's just this game still trying to figure itself out. Stuff like this stuff. So for the next week, hopefully they can be thinking about turning formation lap off so that we don't have another start. It usually is good lobbies as well. Usually is quite good, but this time sadly.
Egger's commenting on my tech level. I've got 75 new items. I'm just gonna sit through them all and just show you what I've yet to unclaim. Apparently. Some quite good stuff here. We can really get that tech level up, you know. But I hate this because it's the communicating with online server stuff, and you have to go through all of them. There's no like redeem all. Just while we're commenting on issues within the game, that's another. But I'll join back, as I should, rather than playing F1 Worlds, which nobody wants to do, realistically.
To anyone wondering in the stream, by the way, not in the chat, it is a restart from the qualifying positions and not from safety car, just to clear that up as well, in case anyone get on with that.
Still a little bit of debate. Qualifying grids is final. We'll just put that there. I don't think there's any point going to lap 1 and going, oh, you've actually gained a position there, so you've actually got to start there instead of there. But for Sindri, it means he's got to do it again, Ross.
Yep, he does, but also we've seen before that he can do it, so he has the ability to do it again, but also with this time Nick might react a bit better. Maybe this time Nick will maybe defend that inside line a little bit more, not allow him that inside line for turn 1, but there's also, it is now the option for them to also pick the harder tyre option, so they get that extra set of harder tyres. It does help with the strategy now also, so if the safety car does come early on again, they can do something about it if they want to. So it is really going to be, I don't think it will be much different in terms of strategy. I do think everyone will probably pick the hard tyre again, but yeah, I think it does help having that extra set of hard just in case you do get caught up in an incident or whatever and have to lose your front wing. Get that changing, jump back on the hards if you please.
Absolutely, you can't police those things when it comes to picking the tyres. So if everybody goes harder, it's still a level playing field. We should realistically see the same sort of strategy again. Everybody starting on hards, but I think if it's within the rules, there might be somebody going for the mediums and going, I can gain a few track positions here.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I wouldn't rate that off. I think people might fancy their chances now. We've seen how everyone got off the line. Maybe react a bit better, so the lights maybe. Hopefully there's no problems this time. Anyway, that's for sure. That's all I really care about. No problems this time. Let's get through the race without anything happening. I'm going to send this grid to Zach quickly.
Yep, lovely. Was just about to get on to that. GSR Racing, yes, they are. Good qualifying position via James, but he's had some internet issues. We'll flick over to the teams and drivers. That's BRT in the Red Bull, GSR in the Ferrari, TV8 in the Mercedes, Shazoo in the Alpine, SLR in the McLaren, NVR in the Alfa Romeo, and then EXR, Aston Martin, NRX for the Haas, PSR for the AlphaTauri, and in the Williams is the FRT duo.
Hopefully should be on soon. Sorry for the hold up, just a bit of confusion with the grid. Everyone trying to figure out where everyone is. I've given them a best screenshot of what I could get with the position change on where the safety car was. So hopefully that is good enough for Zach. You can figure that out. Everything needs to go. Even better, even better. We've got a full screenshot of results. That is preferred. I'll let Zach mess about with that. Should be going hopefully in about 5 minutes or so. Probably be lights out again at 5:45, possibly.
Yeah,
Something like that.
If I was to guess, probably be finished about 9:30. So those that like schedules, sorry, we're a bit behind, but naturally, what can we really do? In this situation, it's annoying for Sem, and it's annoying if it happens in future. Best thing to do is wipe it clean, prevent it from happening in the future, and race again as normal.
Yeah, hopefully next week we'll have some sort of. I think next week will probably just be turning the formation lap off. I think that is what causes a lot of the needed problems in terms of lobbies. Formation lap for even for last game, it's still been very buggy in terms of stuff like what you just seen there with DSQs and people getting penalties and stuff. And safety cars coming out on lap 1, so hopefully they can fix that soon, and then we can all use formation lap happily without the worry of having any sort of punishment, you could say, for using formation lap somehow. So I do hope we can get going soon if Zach has sorted it all out. It does need to turn off the formation lap though, I believe.
Yep, that'll be the main thing. This is the bit where we load in and we have a random grid again. just something oh god, we'll be here all night. But no, thank you to everybody who is sticking around. Do make sure to make yourself known, and we will we'll say hello to you. Zach has just asked whether the formation lap is on or off, and can see. Zach, it's off. OFF off. Turn it off, please. Yeah. I think we're ready to go. But I'm going to need a water top up. So, I'll do that now before we load in. That gives me about 30 seconds at least. And then we'll be back. We'll take a very short break for the start of the AEC mini-series Spanish Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yeah, we're all sorted and we're ready to go. Definitely didn't run up the stairs again. That's my exercise done for the day.
I can't do that.
Oh, can you not? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's a shame. It's clear! It was cloudy a minute ago. Okay, we'll race in the sun. That's fine. 45 will be fine. Remember setups. Etc. Let's try again, shall we? Yeah, I agree with that. Stokey? I think that's a given that we try again. But anything bad happens, we'll call it a night.
Shouldn't be far away from lights, so everyone. I do hope. I'll just double check actually. Make sure the grid is correct with everyone in their correct places. Yep, I think we're all right. I think grid is working. There are people actually on the soft tire.
Oh God!
I think those are strategies waiting to be changed. Though I think they just haven't changed them yet. I do see 3 sets of soft tires on FRT Dance MF1 and PSR Palaki. So maybe they're just gonna go for it now. Maybe they think, you know what, that first run was one for me.
Moved to hards. We've just got Placky on the soft. If he changes it, man. There's a mutual agreement. Everyone's gone back to hards. Unless somebody's leaving it late, trying to bait us out and make a last gasp switch to a different tyre. But yeah, the order looks fine. So well done to Zach. He got there in the end.
Not his fault to start with as well. I need to remember that was not.
Oh no,
nothing to do with him. It's his lobbies at all. So, yep, well done Zach, well done for, he's done his best with what he was given. He's made the lobby back an hour, should be ready up now. Hopefully, it is 8:45, it is time to go.
We don't get a countdown, so we just hear beeping and then the lights come on, so got to be hyper vigilant here and hopefully get a better looking start than last time, because I couldn't see the lights. And I couldn't see the drivers pull away. So thank you, Codemasters. Thank you for making my job hard. But here we go then. All 5 lights on ahead of the drivers for the second time this evening. They're out and we're underway. And once again, it's an equal start between Nick and Sindri on the front row. And Sindri will pull into the slipstream of Nick, who is covering the inside this time. He's learnt his lesson from the first attempters round the outside. Goes Sindri. They bang wheels. Sindri has to go onto the long lap penalty. Rejoins the race. Still side by side with PSR Nick. Rounding turn 3 once again. Sindri still looking to go the long way round with Drobble on the inside. Ogween around the outside. Drobble is up into P3. Something he failed to do on the first attempt. And he'll look to go the long way round. But look at Sindri. He's dived down the inside of PSR Nick. Still they touch. Coming through turn 4, and Sindri's going to have the inside into turn 7, but he's not been able to retake the lead as he had in the first attempt of this race. PSR Nick leads the way ahead of Sindri, ahead of Ogween, ahead of Drobble.
Yeah, I thought that was the one there for Drobble get through on Ogween, but Ogween just stuck back up the inside again. He looked at the inside line like Sindri did on Nick, and he's back into that 2-3 position with Sindri and Ogween, and I'll say Sindri second best this time. First time out he was in front of Nick, but Nick defended that line much more aggressively, as you've seen it in that turn 1. He took that inside line really early. Sindri had nowhere to go. Drobble, he was going to go up the inside. He actually gave Nick a slight tap on the rear. That's what forced Sindri to run wide, and Ogween's got to take that escape road. Here he comes again, Sindri back on the inside of PSR. Nick, he looks again, it flicks the outside line for him. Nick just holds that inside line once more. Up the hill they come. It's still Sindri with 10.5 back on PSR. Nick Ogween's a little bit of a gap to Drobble behind, but they're all banged up together. As he battles GSR James, who was unfortunate to be picking up damage, and he's going to have to try and come back from where he was in P6.
They're not messing around, are they? And PSR Placky has had an issue further back, so it's really a 2v1 NRX versus PSR, an old Xbox rivalry that has come back into life here in Spain. And further back, there's some battling between Rev Caterpillar, who started 18th. He's now up into 13th, I do believe. So a good start by Rev Caterpillar as he is on his way up the order. FRT Dan and Sem F1, they were on the back row of the grid, and Dan has just cleared Sem F1. That's for 15th and 16th. GSR James has had an issue as well. Some really good qualifiers coming off quite badly after that opening lap. No safety car after lap 1, and on lap 3, where DRS is enabled, we're still under green flag running, and Sindri is going to go for the race lead once again. He's gaining on PSR. Nick looks to the inside, but I think this is the stage where he'll wait for the DRS and solidify the lead that way.
Yeah, he's used a lot of his battery. You realise now he doesn't want to use any battery at all anymore. He burned about 40% on that opening lap, trying to gain that race lead on PSR Nick, but Nick's just preserved. Since he tried to use a little bit of defence from Sindri, now look at him at the front, about 30% more than what Sindri has in P2, and then Sindri's teammate Ogwin behind has also got a lot more than him. Drobble also with a lot of battery to use, along with Elite and Archer, have kept that 5-6 position as it was on the first race. Out on, now up into P7, and TR Luca back up into P8. Good start from Sem F1 from the back of the grid after that very poor qualifying, up into P16, battling away with FRT Dan, who's seen just a one lap but go. Sindri's right on the back now of PSR. He's going to be getting DRS onto the main straight. They come up through sector 3 now, up the hill they come along the right hand of the two flat out corners left to go. They aren't quite flat out now as they were in qualifying due to those hard compound tyres being used by every single car on the grid. Once again he rounds out the final corner now. He's got DRS to assist the overtake this time. He didn't use it last time. He didn't have that access to it from the last lap. As you see now, he braced his pass on the inside on PSR Nick. It's now Sindri back up into the lead with PSR Nick P2 and Ogwin still P3.
There we go, the lead gain then for NRX Sindri, and PSR Nick is the filling in an NRX sandwich. One of my favourite things to say, of course, but he's not going to give this up easily. PSR Nick will fight, and he will fight hard until the very end of this race. It's lap 4 of 33. And the new track layout providing some opportunistic moves, as it's obviously with the increased speed down the straight and the better exit you get, just increases the propensity to go on and overtake. And Sindri has done just that into the lead of the race, and Nick has DRS though once more to maybe try and take it back. But meanwhile, is there a switch at TV8? It looks like they're racing quite hard going into turn 10, but Arch has regained the position from Elite Risks. It's all changed down at TV8.
Yes, might allow Elton to try and gain a little bit now on Elite Risk. He was about 5 tenths back. That gap shot was about 2 tenths due to that little bit of an aggressive overtake by FRA Arch on his teammate. They both do still have DRS though to use. No ERS used from any of this pack at all. PSR Nick is gaining and gaining and gaining, but he's sitting behind NRX Sindri into turn 1. He doesn't make that overtake as anyone might have thought he would. He was absolutely flying on the back of that Haas car, but no overtake for PSR Nick this time. He still sits in P2 with Sindri up in P1. Nowhere else had any movement. Drobble still trying to see if he can gain that third podium place. Running away, there's PSR Nick going to give Ogwin the chance to move the outside. He doesn't get that line on the outside, but Nick not having a good time through that first sector.
We're starting to see the build-up of marbles and the mistakes coming in already. Maybe tough to say until we get to the back end of the race, but just a small mistake there from PSR Nick has widened Sindri's lead to almost 7 tenths of a second. Ooh. And here comes Arch again. Is this another move at turn 10? Drobble's gone wide. A little lock of the rear tyres puts him offline slightly, and Arch will try and go the long way round into turn 12. Would have been sensational if he was able to pull it off, but he faces the Alfa Romeo rear wing once more. But there's a really good opportunity for Arch to make the move into turn 1 as they start now lap 6 and down the 1.047 kilometre long start finish straight. Drobble has defended here. He's got no toe for Ogwin, which gives Arch the opportunity to go the long way round at turn 1. Has he got the move done? No, he's backed out. He's had to go onto the runoff area and tucks in behind Drobble once again. Another case of a driver going around the outside and having to take to the escape road.
Yeah, he was just a bit too late on the bracer, couldn't get the car stopped in time to make the corner. That just cost him. That would have been that nice overtake for P4. If he just held that line from the outside, he would have switched to the inside on for turn 2 and he would have got that position, but just a little bit not enough braking pressure from FRA Arch. Now it's put him wide and cost him what could have been a P4 for him, but he is still right in behind Drobble. He burned a lot with ERS down that straight. They were trying to get that P4 position from Drobble. No help from Drobble's teammate, those Revcat. They're still down in P2. Drobble has another little lock of the rear drive, sliding through the corner, almost running to the back of NRX. Ogween seems to be struggling a little bit with the rear tyres into that corner for Drobble. Arch as well, might try to look for the move. He comes back onto the straight now. Will they use ERS again to try and get past Drobble? We know Drobble's got a lot more ERS in his battery pack to use to keep himself ahead of FRA Arch. He's got the DRF, but so does Drobble to the car ahead. But the front of there's PSR Nick finally getting back past NRA Sindri, and Nick will lead the race once again like it was 3 laps ago. It's Nick back in the lead from Sindri and Ogween.
The second change of lead then, it's the pole sitter back to where he started, leading the way here in Spain. But still, the cars in behind, the 2 NRX drivers, they are managing and they are happy to play the strategic game. Nick, though, has the advantage on the ERS front, so that could be interesting. What else is interesting is the setups around here. You often go for quite a high downforce setup, and those that might risk it turning the wings down a couple clicks will have that slippery straight line speed advantage and will be able to make moves a lot more easy, especially in the case of these tight trains towards the back end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. Bertie Boyle going round here instead of FRT Chelsea now to turn 10. He actually locks the rear. He has a massive slide for the corner. Let's get Rev Cap with a massive chance to get it done on both of us. Gabor trying to keep that inside line on Chelsea. Binds wheels. Both of us slide. Rev Cap they're also sliding behind, but they're wheel to wheel all the way through this lap. That was great racing off the track a little bit. Goes FRT Chelsea. They keep it clean. Now that was great. Overtaken there by FRT Chelsea. Did get pushed a little bit off the track, but Gabor now the DRS back on the straight. He comes out the front of the pack. There's another change of the link. Zanarite Sindri is back into the lead again on PSR. Now Rev Cap gets through on FRT Chelsea as well. And EXR Zach goes down again side on FRT Chelsea. That's 3 positions lost in 2 corners for FRT Chelsea. He's lost 3 positions, but look at this one. EXR Zach though. EXR Zach should hold the inside line for FRT Chelsea. He's got the outside line for the next corner. EXR Zach should hold the inside line again. He's still got that inside line. He has to take the curve for good usage of the track. He keeps it on there for the Aston Martin Williams car. Hold the inside line for the next corner, and it is there. He goes through back into P12. Zach into P13.
Yeah, Zach had another little look on the exit of turn 4. The gap just opened up as Chelsea drifted slightly wide of the apex. Another change for the lead. Of course, we caught a glimpse of that NRX Sindri retaking the lead from PSR Nick, and I think this might be a lap-by-lap thing now. They just go on and exchange the position with one another. Right. Let's see if it happens once again, as down through turn 13, where I've just seen a sensational battle and cars going wheel to wheel. Yes, it is possible. Yes, Spain, you have fixed the final sector, especially when it comes to an F123 context. Here comes Nick once again, and I think he's got no choice but to go for this move. If he hangs around for too long, then Ogween could come along and take the position. It's important that he just keeps working this and exchanging this with Sindri. It might be the best thing for his race as Race Roller and TIR Luca go wheel to wheel through turns 1 and 2. Race Roller just coming off second best through there and up to turn 4 now. This is Repsol, its official name. Race Roller stays behind.
Yeah, just tucking in behind that Aramco rear wing of the Aston Martin. Didn't feel like that overtake really necessary at that point, taking that risk on the inside line for the marbles to affect his tyres into the next corner. Might cause a bit of understeer, maybe even run both of them off the track. It was good to not take that risk and just sit behind and get the DRS for another lap and see if he can make that overtake once again. FRA Arch though is very close to the back of trouble. Puts him on the wall! What was that from FRA Arch? I'm not sure what to expect from him, but that is definitely a safety car procedure. That was unbelievable from FRA Arch. He just ran right into the back of the Alfa Romeo car, and that is him now down at the P18 with no front wing for Drobble.
I didn't catch it, but I can picture it. Drobble is in the barrier then, and will have to come in for a front wing repair. Luckily for him though, the safety car has been deployed. Arch has got damage. Most drivers coming into the pit lane. NRX Ogween, however, is not double stacking with his teammate and stays out and will be extremely vulnerable because he's the only driver not to pit. Another driver held up from this, Elite Risks, who was behind FRA Arch. Before and after the incident, he's tumbled right into the midfield because of the double stack and it's Nick from Sindri from Arch, the top three, the net top three I should say. Ilton coming out in a net 4, TIR Luca in P5, and really everybody in the immediate vicinity of Elite Risks has gained a position from that. Ali Ferrari onto another set of hards, so proving that the harder option was chosen there by Ali Ferrari. He'll have to pit again later on in the race, but it's all change here in Spain. As NRX Ogween, has he got this right or has he got this wrong?
121 anyone? Ogween, the only man staying out on track, is, to be honest, I'm not sure what he's thinking. I don't know what the plan is, but Joseph, I have noticed Ali Ferrari on the hard compound tyre. As I said, the harder option has been picked by Ali in terms of the weekend tyre allocation you get to pick before you load into the grid. He is on those hard tyres. Could he be maybe chancing it? You know what? Nothing to lose. Down in P18. Go to the end maybe? On those hards? Right out to the end? Never say die. For Shizou, we know they do like a little bit of a masterclass around tracks like this. Out on up into P5. Ali with nothing to lose. I think it's worth the gamble.
He needs another safety car though. 100%. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to judge it because it might be the biggest load of genius when it gets onto a set of softs and just carves through the field. Later on, everyone started on the hards. Just confirmation of that. We'll sieve through the race director, and hard there for Ali Ferrari. Everyone has made a pit stop bar Ogween, and he might just tumble down the order because fresh tyres, mwah, chef's kiss, they are the best thing on this game. Arch is indirectly through I believe a party talking just in the chat. He's sorry about hitting Drobble, he didn't mean it. Well, I hope he didn't mean it.
I also hope we didn't mean it. That was a very, I mean, I'm glad the stream didn't see it, because that was, it could have been killed, is what I can say. That was, yeah, I'm not sure what Arch was thinking. That was one of those just disaster moments for him. It was just, obviously must have been caught off guard how close he really was to the diffuser of that Alfa Romeo car, but he's still got a race to win. He can still take that win on track for him. Might be to the stewards room for him though, but we will just commentate on what is in front of us, and that is, of course, the safety car being in this lap with NRX Ogween, 10 lap bar tyres, leading the way. What can he do with that?
Let's see. He's had a pretty quiet race. He's not been on the offensive, and he's not really had to defend other than the opening lap from Drobble. And now he's really got to try and hold on to some track position here. Is he going to get us going early? He's speeding up, he's slowing down, he's speeding up, and finally he will. He will eventually. Go on. Yeah. No. Go on. He's leaving it late. He's leaving it late. He's got my timings all wrong, but finally he's foot to the floor, and he's racing again in Spain as here comes NRX Sindri already. And remember, this is for the net lead of the race, and PSR Nick is gaining as well. We could have a three-wide moment going into the first corner with Sindri on the outside. Nick has hit Ogween. Sindri has to take to the escape road once more, and he rejoins still side by side with the AlphaTauri and make that Arch, and they've got history. Here comes Arch to the right hand side. It might be three abreast going into turn 4. It is, with Ogween sandwiched in the middle, his teammate going around the outside, and he's off into the gravel and almost into the tyre barrier as well. NRX Ogween, who took the risk by not pitting, has paid the price for the contact at turn 4. He's off the track, he's down in 17th.
That was incredible, that collision. Just, it was very unfortunate for NRX Ogween. He was caught right up in the middle of that action. He tried to let his teammate through on the outside, he got caught on the inside, and that was it for him.
Indeed. Caution in Sector 2, that's Drobble again, and the Great Dane has had his race go from bad to worse. Unfortunate for him. It was such a promising start, and for him, time will it will come with time, really. He's had a bit of time away, and now he can use this race and the start he had to maybe motivate himself in the future. Still not over for him. Another safety car is likely, of course, and he should not give up on this race so far. If you're new around here in AEC, points down to 14th place. So it is worth fighting for every last position. No change on lap 13 for the leads, and it's Arch chasing down Nick now and Sindri. I like this. I like this because every time, oh, there's history between these two, and something might just happen again. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, top 17, every single car on the same strategy. Every car within that DRS gap of each other. Like, it looks like any man's game for this round. Could it be a comeback drive from PSR Black, who's also had a very quiet race from where he qualified in P10, now he's on a P16, trying to fight back for some points for PSR. This is time to shine for Paradox and Macy's on the matching strategy of everyone ahead. The 3 lap old medium tyres. It's DRS, I believe, is enabled on this lap, so they will get it down that small little straight after turn 9. They will get it on the main straight again. It's our sack. First 3-second time penalty for this race. FRA Arch is closing up to PSR again. It will not be an overtake into turn 1 this time for Arch. Just not close enough to the back of that AlphaTauri car, who originally had Sindri behind him, now got Arch behind him. Elton now trying to fight away for that podium place. This race really is absolutely hectic, and we are only halfway through.
Barely even. Lap 14 of 33 as the halfway point nears, and maybe another pit stop nears, and that all depends on safety car proceedings. And Luca, who is running so well, what has happened? He's off into the gravel at turn 4. Was it a rear lock? Was it contact? We're not going to know immediately, but Luca, 5th place he was running, with the chaos that was likely to incur in front of him as well. That is such a shame to see. Who jinxed him in the chat? It was Louis. Oh, and Justin as well, and Risks. You can take the blame for that one, because I was yet to mention him actually too much. But yeah, unfortunately for Luca, he is down now in P19. It's not a commentator curse, because I didn't say a bloody word. But on to lap 15 we go, and the first lap after the safety car restart with DRS enabled down the start-finish straight, and we have another new leader. It's our 4th one of the evening, and it's FRA Arch of TV8. 2 nights after he faced wheel problems in the Bunga Bunga series at Bahrain, he is not hoping for a repeat tonight.
Yeah, absolutely not. He's making sure the wheel problems are staying as far away as possible this time, because he's fighting away for that race win here in AEC Spain. PSR Nick, though, do not count out this young German. He's going to be chasing them down all the way until that line comes again. He's going to have DRS during a short straight, where I do not believe he'll be making any sort of overtake down there. We did see FRA Arch try and overtake Drobo down this straight, but it was fatality that occurred for Drobo. Ended up in the wall. Arch ended up with a bit of wind damage as well, so maybe you never see it, hopefully never see it again, but PSR Nick is closing again on FRA Arch. He flies up the hill now in sector 3, 2 more corners to go. We'll start off lap 16, he's going to have DRS down this straight. Lost a little bit of time there during that last corner, not as great of an exit as Arch has had, but he lost a little bit through the last corner. He's got the DRS now to assist this overtake. Will it be done in turn 1 it goes for PSR Nick? No ERS is used by PSR. He's got a little bit more than FRA Arch. He'll lose to that inside line. He will make the corner in time. He will get that P1 again. It is PSR Nick back in the lead from FRA Arch in P2.
And here we go again with the leads exchanging on pretty much every single lap, and there's been battling further back, and it's EXR Zach who's just been cleared by GSR Sam. He's off wide and could have hit some marbles there, which could have sent him off the track even further. Zach with the only driver to have a track limits penalty so far. I think his 3rd and final warning came on the entry to the final corner. Just ran out a little bit wide there, trying to maximise the entry and carry as much speed on the apex as possible. Yep, just got that wrong, and yeah, that could be a costly penalty for EXR, who sits 7th in the championship, 10 points behind Shizou. Shizou are running 4th and 17th. Shizou Ilton again having a quietly brilliant race as we speak as well. There are so many good drives in the field at the moment. Yes, they're all in a DRS train, but you just can't afford a mistake, and there's been none from the likes of Ilton, from Gabba, from Elite Risks, from indeed Race Roller as well for SLRT, and Rev Caterpillar has made moves as well, following that safety car up into P8. Let's see this move for the lead. FRA Arch back into P1 again. it's likely to exchange every single lap.
Yeah, we've seen this before with Cindery and Nick. It was just a constant change of position, just waiting until that final lap came, or until the pit lap was, but obviously that pit lap is now game for them, so there probably will be, I believe, another pit stop, maybe not for those medium tyres. I believe they will probably go the distance. This will be very boring at the end of this race. It'll be a tyre wear battle to see who's got that little bit better tyre. We're at the back though, Joe. I realise NRS Ogweed has not had his pit stop from that collision. He is still in P19 with his 16 lap old hard tyres. He was at 10 laps when he had that safety car restart. He was leading the way and he had that unfortunate collision with his teammate, which definitely was not Cindery's fault. It was just one of those racing incidents where Ogweed was sandwiched in the middle. He couldn't go anywhere at all. Cindery still on the back of PSR. Next, if he close up a little bit on this lap, he's got a chance to maybe get up into P2 and battle away with Nick for the race lead for FRA Arch as well at the front. So no DRS for Arch, so he'll fly back onto the straight, starting off lap 18. PSR Nick is a little bit further behind this time, to be fair, on FRA Arch. It might be one of the first times in a few laps we don't see that first position change, and it will be as if PSR Nick does not look at the inside line. It's a little bit of a mistake for the corner again, as FRA Arch will lead the way and start at lap 18.
Drobble making the move there on Ogween, and for Ogween, don't know why you'd pit now. The damage is mostly done. You've just got to wait, be patient, and I think, yeah, if the timing's right, you still might be able to benefit from that in some way or another. Sindri still, and he'll feel quite hard done by because he was the one exchanging positions with Nick, and now following Arch's mistake that caused the safety car, he's the one out in front. But I think everybody behind him might know, okay, Arch is likely to get a post-race penalty here, so don't do anything stupid with him. Stick behind, and we'll capitalise whenever the report comes out in a couple of days.
Yeah, definitely. They'll be maybe thinking that in their heads now, as they may have heard about that unfortunate collision between Arch and Drobble, who's now back down in P20 all the way back there. EXR Zach has made a mistake and off the track he goes. He comes round the second last corner. Before he approaches the corner, he has spun round on the straight part, I should point out. Has been overtaken by his teammate Henrik Hogween, and then Drobble will slowly fall behind. The EXR Zach is now back into last place at the front though. No change in position once again at the start. Nick maybe slowly starting to feel the effect of these worn medium tyres. Out on though, starting to find his way into this top 4 fight. Do not count out BRT Gabor either. He's still trying to make his way up these positions, trying to keep his nose clean, as you've seen it in the Bunga Bunga series league on the Monday, as you already talked about. He was very, very clean throughout that, didn't have any collisions, no damage, and he made his way, and he actually scored some major points for the Bunga racing team. He already is doing it today again in AEC. Currently sits P5 with Elton, Cindery, Nick and Arch ahead.
I've just had the biggest scare. I thought we were banned because it just showed on the on my dashboard 0 followers. Oh, I thought we were gone. I thought we were done out here in AEC, but we're still alive and the stream is still rolling, I think. Please give me a heads up if
we are.
That's good.
We are.
That's good. Zach has got another penalty. Penalties coming in as well for Chelsea, and Ali Ferrari down in P16 at the moment as well. Thank you to all 643 followers, and thank you to all 61 viewers at the moment. Sindri might make a move here because Nick didn't quite fancy it going into turn 1 then. It's getting close, and someone has got to pull the trigger sooner rather than later because the top 4 are separated by less than a second. And here comes Sindri because Nick's made a mistake going through turn 3, and Suzu Wilton out of nowhere has got into P2, but Nick does the switchback. He'll have the outside line into turn 4. Sindri down into 4th. Suzu Wilton swaps places with him, and he's up to 2nd. What an opportunistic move. What a brilliant move.
I did not expect that. I thought it was going to be a Nick and Cindery battle there, Elton picking up the scraps, but absolutely not. Elton got worrying about it. He thought, you know what, I'm going to take this myself. Up in the P2 he went. Nick got a fantastic switchback though to put himself back into that P2, but Elton held the inside line and got that better line through the uphill corner and up in the P2 and now battling away for what will be the race win if he can keep up with FRA Arch right now. He's already closing up that gap. His tyres seem to be going very well nicely, but I do need to point out he did burn 60% on that last lap. Nick behind also a bit more, but here comes Enright Cindery on PSR. Nick now looking maybe going to force Nick into that overtake on Elton. He maybe might go round the outside, doesn't get the gap, and Nick holds that P3 once more from Cinder in P4. What a move that was from Stu Elton, back up in the last lap.
Indeed, we've got some activity in the pit lane, and Elite Risks and SemF1 have come in for another pit stop. They think, and I don't think there's any front wing damage because they're in and out quite quickly, they're going for another pit stop, gambling on, for a start, no more safety cars, and these guys are going to start to struggle towards the end of the race as well and keep battling, so they've not lost too much relatively. But let's see then, we're on lap 21 of 33. Can the medium tyres get to the end of the Grand Prix? Everybody probably crying out for another safety car. If they think they can't, equal tyre wear definitely in play now, so that's not a factor that we had in the opening 2 rounds of the season. That's finally been fixed and we are free to stop talking about that. But are we going to see Shazoo Ilton become our 5th different race leader here tonight?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see maybe another leader as Elton is closing on the Mercedes of FRA. He pulls to the inside line, and as you said, the 5th leader of the Spanish AEC Grand Prix. It is Elton leading the way on lap 22. FRAR tucked behind the Alpine rear wing. PSR Nick up there in P3, still Cindery, and Gabor is now welcome into that fight. But look who's in P6, Joseph. Brave Caterpillar, from what has been an absolute terrible performance in qualifying, he's up in the P6, and with only 8 tenths off Gabor, he cannot count him out of this podium fight just yet. What a battle this is going to be right into the line. 11 laps left to go. It's still Elton leading the way from Arch and Nick.
It might even be net 5th because we don't know about the possible penalty status of FRA Arch. It might even be boosted even more if anybody picks up a track limits penalty. Dare we mention those? But Shazoo Ilton leading the way here. Thank you to all 76 of you watching right now. That is an unbelievable number for a tournament that was really registered as, okay, we'll stop the social races, we'll move it into a tournament format. There's not really much to play for. We've seen so many changes of lineup, we've seen a change in team already, and we're seeing another change in leadership. FRA Arch of Team Valor retakes the lead of the race, of course in penalty jeopardy following his collision with Drobble a few laps. I say a few laps ago, it was about 10 laps ago now. That is, the laps are ticking by quickly, and they're ticking by quicker than what we would have had with the pre-2000, the post-2007 layout, I should say, with the chicane. Finally it's removed, and finally we're getting such brilliant racing.
Yeah, Spain has really turned out to be one of those tracks you actually look forward to, and at the back that's SemF1, who is off the track. GSR James takes a P16, definitely not been his day out on track for SLR once again. A P15 for Racewell, or P17 for Sem. Currently that's definitely another week to forget for the Summit League racing team. Are usually quite strong as a team that qualified for the World Esports Championship last year. Didn't actually do too badly in that, did end up picking up some points in the end, but this has not been their greatest of results in AEC. At the front there is the 5-car train is still building, as you see there's here comes Red Caterpillar though, joining that train in the 6th. Chelsea fan as well in P7, and you have it's Passy also maybe joining us as well. He's only 1.2 behind FRT Chelsea, burning his DRS, and he's even getting that DRS of FRT Chelsea, making it an 8-car battle for possibly the winners. Shazoo Ilton went for the inside line, is still battling away out, he got pushed on the triathlete, but he's got the inside line again. He's back up the inside, he's got the lead, but Arch is using everything he's got in that battery pack. He's rounding outside of Tommy seen how to make that move on Nick and Arch. Just 2 laps ago, he's back up into the lead. It's Elton leading the way from Arch, and Peter Nicholas around the outside. Okay, FRA Arch in the hair, but he looks to get that outside line, but it's not going to happen for him just yet. It's Elton, Arch and Nick still battling away.
Indeed, I don't think they really wanted to be fighting that much going through turns 2 and 3, but they ended up doing it anyway, and Shazoo Ilton has the lead once more. What a turn 9 it was for Nick, maybe just carrying a little bit more front and rear downforce to give himself the boost up through the middle part of the track, and this contact. Nick has to yield a little bit because he hit the back of Arch. He was going into a slide, allowed the Mercedes to correct it, and through has gone Sindri on the exit of turn 12. And they made more contact on the exit. Sindri is up into P3. Nick is suddenly down to 4th. And here comes Arch once again. He wanted the position. He gets the position. with 9 laps to go in the race. More change in leadership, more change on the podium. It is a race still to the checkered flag, providing the tyres can make it.
Oh! Mistake there from Gabor, and see Rev Capital look at the outside line at the turn 4 of the covers. Rev Capital running very wide though, but he's still got that line. Gabor's going to slip back up the inside of Rev Capital. We'll tuck in behind that Oracle sponsored Red Bull wing. Still holds P5 currently. There's a big mistake there up the hill. Came BR to Gabor to save a little bit of slide with the tyres. It's really starting to show their degrade. In fact, they're now 15 laps on mediums with the top 11 on those tyres. Elite Risks obviously pit for those freshmen. He's starting to pick up some pace now. Only 4 laps with Drop at the back, picking up a 3-second time penalty on the road. But at the front though, there's 8-car battle now. As in comes GSR Sam, and 9-car battle. In comes It's Passy. This is really becoming one of those races to look out for in AEC. FRAR leads the way, leading on to lap 26. Cindery is really close to the back of Elton now, and PSR Nick losing out to Cindery just 1 lap ago. We'll try and get that place back.
I have no idea who's going to win this race. We've got 8 laps to go, and I don't think anybody in the world does at the moment. Shizu Ilton gaining, but he's just too far back at the start of this lap to make the move once again. No harm done though. He knows that Arch still facing that possible penalty. We don't know how much it will be or how many positions he will lose, but that collision with Drobble, what's on everyone's mind still at the moment. The Dane was driving so well prior to the safety car. As we all know, FRT Chelsea carrying a time penalty as well. That will drop him a couple of positions, and that does give Rev Caterpillar a bit of a buffer, actually, from behind, because he knows that the FRT Chelsea won't necessarily go for a move, and he is able to maybe push on forwards and try and make some late moves as well, as he almost did around the outside at turn 4 on Gabor, but just washed out wide a little bit and was unable to get that done. Just like that, we've almost ticked off another lap of the race. Relatively quiet when we're not racing down the start-finish straight. It's 1,047 metres in length, and it has served up an absolute treat for us tonight. And here we go again. Shizu Ilton in the DRS. Not much ERS to play with compared to what they had available towards the start of the race, such as the desperation to clinch the track position. No move this time, and no move, you'd assume, for the remainder of this lap.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of playing the DRS game now. They thought the cat and mouse DRS game. This is a big mistake from someone in front. It usually just means they'll follow each other until the very last moment where they can make that overtake with the DRS at hand. We've got to say though, this train really doesn't have a lot of DRS in it. He's set from PSR Nick on 70% and Gabber on 87%. He's been carried along by PSR Nick. He's got Red Capital behind him, who really hasn't been making any sort of manoeuvre on him either. So just this big DRS train with everyone involved, and who can gain the most DRS and use it towards the back end of this race. See, Cindery's been about 2/10 of Elton ahead for about 3 laps now. He's not been able to make any overtake on Elton, either as PSR Nick or Gabor or anyone really. It's just been a really close battle between this top line, and everyone's just trying to see who can pick up the most positions. Is there going to be any calamities into the last lap they go? Will there be any big collisions that will cost drivers some positions? Only time will tell. They jump onto this right now, starting off lap 28.
Thank you very much to TV8 Matex, who was gifted a subscription. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm sure others, if you want, you can do the same. It's free with Twitch Prime. Nobody's forcing you to pay a penny. That's all I'm going to say on the basic Twitch duties for that one. No move on lap 28 so far, but there's been good racing in the mid-pack between FRT Dan and PSR Placky. I'm told that Placky didn't really put too much practice into this one, but he's having a really entertaining battle for P10 with FRT Dan. The leaders in the championship, PSR, they led by 42 points at the start of this evening. Could have been shrunk if NRX Ogween maybe just pit. Could have been a different story with Cindery in the hunt for the win as well. Could be a very entertaining championship fight in the final 2 rounds. And by the way, there'll be a track though after the checkered flag. Don't forget to stick around after the stream and vote for the track you want to see round 5 be hosted at. Right, 5 laps to go then when we cross the line, and it's Shizu Ilton, still the chasing car to FRA Arch. Will he finally go for the move and secure the lead on track, or is it still just too much of a risk?
Yeah, it's just got to be. Oh, and someone's on the wall at the back there. I believe it's EXR Zach might have cleared in the wall, but zoom out
Oh,
on. Looks at the inside line on FRA Arch, gave him enough space, and through goes Elton. One of the first overtakes we've seen at the front for a while now. About 3-4 laps has been overtaken at the front, but now we're starting to see some movement as Arch might maybe look back and go up the inside of Elton into turn 4, but definitely no movement from these two at the front. Elton want to lead the way. I'm not sure if that might be a smarter decision ever, though. Maybe he feels that Arch wasn't going as fast as he might have thought. We can maybe try to pull away from Arch, and maybe Arch might be making a bit more mistakes as they're in the dirty air of that car. Obviously these F1 2020 cars are made less dirty air than they were in F1 2021, but the dirty air is definitely still there. You can see a bit of understeer coming from FRA Arch. He flies on through this part of the track, come towards turn 10, the uphill left-handed section. You see Eric Sindri is still in about 210, so what was from Elton and Arch, but nothing happening so far between anyone else. It's just a case of who can build up the most DRS and who's going to blast it all with coming the last lap or even the last 2 laps.
Indeed. Yeah, Matex still supporting Arch, and you can still support Arch. That is not forbidden. As he's going for it here. Of course he's going for it here. It's Arch. He wants the lead of the race. He's been fighting back for it every single time Ilton has cleared him. And he's back up into P1. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. I believe that's for EXR Zach, whose race has just fallen to absolute bits in the last few laps or so. Here comes then Shizu Ilton within a 10th going into the braking zone at turn 4. Now down towards turn 5. Still just a nail-biting train. It is so unknown to who is going to make that decisive move, because Nick is still in the running. Sindri has been in the running since lap 1, the initial race start. If you're just tuning in, many of you are, we had a race restart. Sindri had the lead on the first start, but wasn't able to do it on the second start. It was a ding-dong battle between him and Nick. The safety car came out, Arch pounced, and he is now the one in control on the racetrack. 3 laps to go when we cross the line. Here we go again, Ross Greenhorn. Is there going to be any more moves?
I think this might be the start of where you see PSR Nick is using that ERS, so is Sindri, so is Elton. The ERS used to start to come out these last 3 racing laps. Sindri pulls to the inside line, maybe forcing an overtake for Elton on Arch. He makes that inside line go Sindri. He takes P2 from Elton. Elton has to take off to the left. I guess PSR Nick position up in a P3. Did have to be giving him a little bit of a love tap as he went by, but that was only because he was forced a little bit wide of the track. Here comes the BRT bar as well, running outside. Absolutely no space given on that overtake. He thought he could make it on the Alpine, but it wasn't meant to be for so far. A lot of ERS is burning that straight forward bar. He's on about 90% at the start of the lap, now down to 64 as well. Elton absolutely nothing to use. Nick as well got a little bit more than the 2 ahead of him. This race is going to be very hectic towards these last 2 laps.
If I was the AEC FIA, I'd be knocking on the front door of PSR Nick, metaphorically, obviously, and saying give that back, because that might have been a bit of a punt to pass. But we'll pass on that one and let them carry on, because at the end of the day, racing on the whole has just been tremendous tonight, and it's another evening where we can just generally commend the driving standards. They've been better than what we had in Bahrain after the bright start we had. But with 2 laps to go, Sindri, he wants the lead on track. He's not seen it for a while. He's finally seeing it now though. Going to the inside, he's hit Arch! Oh my word! The old rivals rub once again, going through turn 1 and 2, and Arch just has to yield on the exit of turn 2. PSR Nick is there, waiting in the wings as well. Arch in the slipstream, pulling to the right-hand side. Nick sandwiched on the exit, and there's another push on Sindri, and he's hit him again! And Dilton comes through and gives Nick a little bit of a love tap, and he's hit him! Oh my word, PSR Nick is in the wars at the moment. Gabba has gone the long way round at turn 5. Just like that, Nick has fallen to P5. Maybe make it P... No! No! No, we did not want to see that. Oh, come on! Come on! Oh, Rev. No, I feel
As we
so bad
praise
for him.
the driving standards
No.
all the race long, it comes to the second last lap where Rev Caterpillar has been shunted into the side of. Very unluckily by FRD Chelsea, nothing he could do about that. PSR Nick did not give a lot of space to Rev Caterpillar on that inside line. But
Here we go,
the
here we
last
go.
lap though, it's NRX Cindery. He picks that inside line early, he gets that lead of the race as it enters on to the last time they'll take turn 1 during this race. FRD are just got to do everything they can to get that P2. But look at it's been absolutely crazy at the back here. Gabor, after an incredible race, it's been dropped back to P8.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Rev Caterpillar and Gabor, two of the standout drivers tonight. Just like that. Nah, fuck off. Nah, go on. Down the order you go. You're not having fucking anything from this race, you're not, I promise you. But... What can you even say? It is coming to life on lap 33 of 33, and it's NRX Sindri out in front. And I tell you what, he's barely put a foot wrong today. Got a little bit unlucky with the timing of the safety car, just increased his vulnerability to the drivers behind. But now, going through turn 12 and down through the new reprofile turn 13 as well, on the pre-2007 configuration, he, NRX Sindri, brings the third different team to win in the AEC mini-series. Congratulations to Sindri, who takes victory here in Spain ahead of Arch for now, and Shizu Ilton gets up on the podium as well. Could have been a little bit more for him, but they settle with that result. What a race it was. What a catastrophic ending for some, but I thoroughly enjoyed that.
What a crazy ending in the end. Well done to Sindri on just avoiding all contact on the last lap. Made that clean overtake on Arch, and that let him through as Arch. Possible penalty pending, possibly for that collision with Drobble. But Ilton, I believe he did finish on the pole. Not sure with that PSR Nick DNF where everyone is fully finished, but it's passing as well. Great result for Bungo Racing Team. Very unfortunate for Gabor, though. It was looking like a guaranteed podium for him, at least with the big battle with Ilton coming in the last lap. Wasn't meant to be. GSR Sam, great. Finally some points for Ground Effect Spec Racing in P5, Chelsea B6, Race Roller 7, Gabor 8, Placky, a great fight back from that poor start he had into P9, Dan with P10, I did not catch the last, I believe Elite Risks in P11, and GSR James rounding out the top 12 point scoring positions in AEC.
Wow, and I just want to say thank you. We just hit 83 viewers on that last lap, and I'm not surprised considering the chaos. Everyone's scrambling to their respective Discord servers going, bloody hell, look at this. But we're about to do a track vote, so I'd really appreciate it if you could stay and participate in that. We'll run through the results and I'll click start on the poll. By the way, the tracks, the vote is the same as last week, bar Spain, which was replaced. So if you remember what that is, you might want to get an early vote in your mind. But we'll have a quick look at the results and confirmation of victory for NRX Sindri, head of Arch for now. Ilton in third. It was PSR Nick, I believe, in fourth. I believe he left after the line, right? So he 3 seconds, yeah, on the time he can beat very easily. Reinstated to the position. It might end up being a podium. Passy, by the way, fifth on the road as well. Ahead of Sam, ahead of Chelsea, ahead of Race Roller, and then Gabor, who heartbreakingly lost out on a podium position and a possible P2 here this evening. Placky, Dan, Elite Risks, followed by James, started sixth, had a nightmare start, but managed to recover well. Ogween, Luca, Ali Ferrari, Drobble, no points for him, sadly. Deserved a lot more today, of course. And then Sem, Zach, and then Rev, who was the only non-finisher. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to press start on the poll. You have 2 minutes tonight. We're not going to do 3, we'll do 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Vote for the round 5 circuit. And
it was close last week. It was very close.
Close.
It was what had more I think Brazil took an early lead, and all of a sudden Spain jumped in out of nowhere like a 3, and it was a 90+10 late winner from Spain, and it's already hectic. Of Japan getting a few, Hungary getting a few, Brazil, what was there, Miller? Australia, I actually love this. We need to do this every week. This is a great addition. Hungary and Japan 5-5. There comes Brazil with 4. I'm going to stay out of it this time. I did vote last week. I'm going to stay out this week. I think I'll keep it fair as possible. Brazil and Hungary 6. Oh, we're getting close again. Getting a running commentary. I'm looking like the gambler. See, Brazil, Hungary 6-6. Oh, Japan 6. I'm a lot of 1, but Australia still at 2. You've still got no one really leading. Australia's got 3. Australia's got 4 now. Maybe one team's had a little bit of an announcement in the server. Brazil takes the lead in 7. This is gonna be a great ending to the stream. Everyone just getting their votes in. There's definitely gonna be a few announcements in the team servers about which track they want them to vote for their drivers. Australia's still on 4. We've had a bit of a standstill. Brazil hits 8 and nothing else so far. I think it's looking like Brazil's got a 3 vote lead. Oh, here comes Japan though, down to 2 vote lead for Brazil. No one is. I don't think anyone's gonna be catching up there. I think it might be game over for Brazil. There's 10 to Brazil. It looks like it's going to be Brazil here. This is going to be close. Brazil 12. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a Brazilian samba dance next week. It looks like, Joseph. 13 to Brazil. Poll should it? When are we ending the poll, Joseph? It's just so I know.
It's at about 20 seconds to go before the poll ends. Don't type it. Just vote on the poll. It's not difficult. Everybody asks, oh, why is it shit tracks? Well, I pulled them out randomly. I asked again, do I do them all differently?
Oh, it's definitely Brazil.
I just had to replace Spain.
Ladies
and gentlemen, the round 5 circuit will be going to the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And that just about concludes tonight's action as well. Thank you very much. Ross, any final words from you on what was a spectacularly chaotic race?
Good luck, stewards.
I agree. Good
That's
luck.
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll round it off there then. I need to lie down. Thank you again so much, everybody. That might be a viewership record of some sort. I'll confirm that one and I'll post it to Twitter if I do find out. But until next week, when we head to Brazil for the penultimate mini-series round, it's goodbye from the pair of us. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.